is not as Musakura as myself, but relatively. Talked about our fight here with the Amin Soldiers. I think it was the 22nd of January. That report was 23rd.
Yeah, you escaped in January, but the firing squad was in February.
The firing squad.
Yes.
But there was a report which the following day, I remember there was that picture in the Uganda Address of my car, our car, which was
Parked outside the house for the night.
So I'm very happy that you have told me about the grave, that you knew where the grave of Namirundi is.
Yes, on the periphery.
Masaba was not with us. Masaba was, I hear, had been an army officer or something. But the one who was with us was Namirundi, the young boy. He was 17 years, like my age.
He was 20.
He was 20?
The boy was born in 1953.
Oh. So the Namirundi was the one bringing us food in the house. Maumbe first put us in Busiyu. That Busiyu, you know where Busiyu is?
Yes.
He first put our fighters into Busiyu, but then somebody leaked it. There's some story there about who leaked it. Then when I drove from Kampala with my two comrades who died here, Kazimot and Mwesiga Martin, when we went to Busiyu, the house was deserted. There was nobody. In those days, there was no telephone. If there had been telephone, we would not have had this problem. Because you couldn't ring from far. You had to come physically to check. So, when we didn't find anybody to Busiyu, we drove, came back to the road, and as we were climbing this little hill after Manafa River, Manafa Bridge, a Peugeot 4, they were called Peugeot 404, called Estate. It didn't have the backside. Came following. I had seen that car there when we went to the house. There was like a car somewhere there, but as if it was watching or something. But I didn't attend to it that time. So when we got to the road, after Manaf, this car came and overtook us and slowed down a bit, as if they were seeing what was inside our car and drove. But we continued because we were not in contact with the Maumbe. Got to the house, this house which is house 49 here in Maluku. Got there, and Maumbe's wife was there. She arrived, Betty.
Yeah, she's on it.
She arrived. And even the boy who was there was a young boy who's now a big officer, Mokori. The son of Maumbe, he's working with me.
Moses Mokori.
Okay, they were there. So, I asked Mrs. Maumbe for some chai. She said she didn't have money or something. And I gave her money to buy bread and sugar. Then somebody went. But after some time, somebody said the soldiers are advancing in the housing estate. Now there was some confusion on our side because our guns were in the car. So I told my colleagues, I said, no, the soldiers are looking for a thief. A thief? Then I told my colleagues, I think we better react. But Martin said, no, we are going to cause unnecessary. We're going to panic. because we had documents, student documents. So when we were still they came around the house and said, you people, you get out, you get out. So we got out. But fortunately, me, I had a pistol. All the guns were in the car, but I had kept a pistol and also secured it with a rope in my belt. So they said, why you? Said we are students. Then the fellow didn't ask any questions. You enter the car. You put who has got the key? I said, I'm the one with the key. She put a gun here, so you enter the car. Now I was now sure that they knew who we were. So I walked like this, as if I'm going, because the car was parked facing the forest. You know the other forest?
Kabuta Road.
We call it Kabuta Road.
Yes.
It was facing south, because this is east. The sign comes from this way, west. So Maruku, the house is like facing west, and the back is east. Back of that house. But the car was facing south. So I walked as if I'm going to. There was a hedge there. I don't know, quite high. I don't know how I jumped over it. So when I did, I jumped over the hedge. Because I wanted my people also to do the same, to scatter my group. But they made a mistake, they stayed. So then I jumped over the fence and I started running. Then these two soldiers followed me, started shooting, but they were missing. Somebody who's running is not easy to beat. Now, there's a fellow who survived the narrative. Walimba. Walimba is what?
Prime Minister.
Oh, he's the Prime Minister now. So as I was running through the house in yesterday, then these civilians came to intercept me, thinking that I was a thief. That's when I stopped and I fired at the soldiers. They said that I injured him. I didn't know that I had injured him. I fired at them. When I fired at them, they never fired back again. They ran back. They fled. The soldiers who were chasing me. And then the civilians also fled. I never won. They all fled. Now, Maume's wife and the boy who were at the house, now my colleagues stayed there now. So when they came back, that's when they killed him. It was so unfortunate. Now I didn't know what had happened. So I entered the forest. The big problem was there was a thicket, a bush, a grass thicket. There are tall grasses which Banyakore use for straws, umuhihi. The ones which they are tall grass. It's not a muri, the other muri of not reeds. But that's why you have a place called chihihi. That grass was like maybe 20 meters between the forest and the house in the estate. That one was very, because I was going through it and then it was very strong and I was leaving a very big trail. If those soldiers had followed, it would have been easier to shoot. But they didn't, they had run away. So, after very tiring, I hit a drainage channel. There's a drainage channel. A drainage channel going, I don't know where it is going to. That's what I ran along and entered the forest. And then walked up to, then I imagined on the road before Bugema. So I wanted to know one of my colleagues had got out, I walked back to the town with my, I had my gun, I checked, I had used some bullets, but I was remaining with 8 bullets. One in the gun and a spare magazine. So I walked back. I walked. I wanted to come back to the town, but there was no one on the road. It was all deserted. So when I was waiting near there's what they call. Yesterday I passed there, found the army has put Wazareno. Wazareno circle. It used to be military police. So when I was waiting here, I met a young boy. So, where are you going? Where are you coming from? I said, I'm coming from Manjia. I knew the areas. Coming from Manjia. Where are you going? I said, I'm going to Kampala. I said, oh, don't go to the town because the guerrillas have fought with the army. The army has killed 2 people, two soldiers, and the army has killed 2 guerrillas. That's how I knew that my colleague had been killed. I don't know how she had got it. So I said, where do I go now? She said, no, let's go back. There's a road near Bugema. There's a road going to the mountain. Before you get to Bugema, there's a road going to the mountain, Maramo Road. I don't know what they call it. There was, along that road, there was a brand new lodge that time, which had been opened. So I went there and slept. Then the following day, I woke up. Then I went on the road. I saw they had made a roadblock at the barracks there. But I crossed the forest, entered the forest, went through the forest, through the railway, walk along the railway, on this side, on the right, through the gardens, the plantations. Then I emerged at Mbale Road. I emerged there. I had bypassed the roadblock. That's how I got into a bus to go to Kampala with my gun, because I had to keep my gun. I didn't want to. And I went without a problem. When we got to Chireka, there was a huge roadblock there. Then they said, you get out. We got out of the truck. Now, there's somebody whom God wanted to leave, so that I also leave. The soldier, he looked at me and said, why are you? I said, I was going to shoot him if he has tried to take me. But he had, he said, go back to the car. So he wanted to leave me. I went back to the car. I went through the road. So that's the story of this Musauku, this junior Musauku was talking about. So I didn't know that he knew, that people knew, because we covered the bones of Kazimoto and Mwesiga and buried them. We did the DNA test and buried them. So I'm very happy to, PPS, I want you, maybe Kasinje, you can follow up this with the other Musaku, the other old man, junior old man, is not very old man, just 70 years, about our people who were killed here. Masama was a former army officer, he was not part of our group.
But what I was told by the relatives is that he was recruited for Fronasa from Kikere and Imagine. That's where they arrested him from.
No. I know everybody who was involved. Masama was, I think he was a former army officer who had fallen out with their means, separate from us, because they have their own internal. you had people like Kauka, you know Kauka? Kauka died recently. Major Kauka. He was in Bugisu, Major Kauka, Major Ongodia, Captain Ongodia, they are only conflicts within their army. But the one who was with us was Namirundu, who was the boy bringing things to us. Okay,
Thank you, Excellency.